I've been deeply involved in making videos for work, so I haven't made videos for anything else, really. And it dawned on me last week while making a video, an experience that I had related to these videos I'm making for work that's actually helping. Our big problem, as some of the students have pointed out, who also make videos and podcasts and have YouTube channels, is we lack a lot of not only the skill but also the materials in order to make these kinds of videos successful. As you can see, my office, while better lit than my house, is not terribly well lit. There's a lot of washed out color. I can tell that this is not good lighting. And the camera that I have is the one attached to my laptop, and that's as good as it gets. I've got a boom mic, but it has its limitations. It reminded me, however, that I do have a little bit of skill, and that's maybe the biggest difference between my videos and other people's videos, is that I actually have some experience. My senior year of high school, I worked for the local PBS affiliate a few hours each week. And I can't remember if it was every day or if we were on block scheduling and it was every other day, but I would go down to the PBS affiliate and we would help with some of the shows, including live ones, which meant there was a need for two of us to start as camera operators. So I actually have some experience working with that. And I remember this one live show in particular, the guy on the stage was testing our skill because he could see behind us on the wall. There was a TV screen up there, so he could see what the audience was seeing based on what we were doing, and he would respond. I think he could tell which camera it was too, and he would respond and try and test us by moving around and see if we could keep him in frame and follow him and do things correctly. And I learned how to smoothly zoom and how to keep people in frame. And some of these skills have come in handy in terms of creating a quality video product given the tools that we have as we have moved forward this semester with online education. From the camera, I moved into the audio booth. And the audio booth in live shows was really busy. You'd go back and forth between people's mics. People would call in. There would be other audio clips to play, video clips to play, and so I'd have to move things on the box quite frequently. And I learned how to place people, how to place cameras, and how to make sure that you captured the sound that you wanted and exclude the sounds that you didn't. And then finally I moved to the board, where I wasn't the director, but I operated the control board while someone else behind me actually gave instructions. All right, cue up two, zoom in, two, move to the left. All right, we're ready, now go, take two. And so those things, even though I wasn't the one giving those instructions, I learned enough about the directing of a show to the videos where I'm not in them. You can tell that I got a chance to call the shots and to make a better experience than other people had. Now, you'll hear in some of them, if you're one of my students or one of the students in these classes, you'll hear me talk because I'm actually live in the studio because we didn't have a lot of time to rehearse them, and we don't have, and I don't know if they cut the audio out or not when I'm giving stage instructions, but I'll, grab that, do this, pan in. Because I can't do it in their ears from a booth. I have to do it live because we don't have that privilege and opportunity. We also don't have the staff. At maximum, there are 3 of us at a time. The person on screen, and then I have one camera and the other person has the other. That's best case scenario. There's 3 of us there. But it did remind me of this experience that I'd forgotten, that I worked for PBS for a while. And I didn't quit the job. What happened is after their annual telethon, they came to us and they told us that they didn't have enough money to keep most of us. And the one they kept was the one of us who was the most skilled. And I think I was second. Doesn't really matter. He had been actually good enough that he called the shots while I was running the board. And so he was the choice. But it was an interesting experience that I don't usually put down on my resume, and that I'd actually kind of forgotten about until now because it really wasn't relevant. I had no intention of working for a TV studio. In reality, it was a way to get out of going to class because I could go to work for PBS instead of taking classes. And since I only needed to take a math class and an English class to graduate, I had to take government. I only had to take 3 classes as a senior in order to finish. So it gave me something else to do with my time that was educational, beneficial, rewarding, and instead of just wasting my time in classes I didn't give a flying pinwheel about in the first place. So now this experience is actually bearing fruit, And it's very interesting to revisit that, something that I haven't done for 20 years, and think about the things I learned back then and how many of them are actually applicable today. So anyway, there's my educational experience and the core of what I know how to do. Again, this is an equipment problem, and not that I lack the skill. Also, since I'm actually the one on camera, I can't be the one giving instructions or modulating sound or cutting in clips until after the fact. But I'm the one who does that too, because that was my first experience with Adobe Premiere, was helping with the yearbook staff, independent study photography and stuff, because that's when I first got my exposure to Premiere. And the Premiere I had here was version 5, and they upgraded me at the school for free to version 14, because it's a perk of working here. There's a learning curve with that too, but I've been able to do things my coworkers don't know how to do because they're learning it from scratch, and I know that the program can do it because I've already done it in the past. Anyway, a few thoughts about me, about how we got here, and about what I know and what I do, and why. But I also don't care to go to those lengths because there's a lot of money involved. I cannot tell you how much money PBS was spending back then. So imagine if I had the money to do what they did on my videos all the time. Food for thought. Good luck with your school or your life or your hobbies. And who knows what skills you learn may bear fruit in the future unexpectedly. Godspeed and take care.